All right, we're going to send things out to West Columbia right now. That is our Governor, Henry McMaster, about to give us an update. He had just talked in a conference with county leaders all across the state. Let's listen in.
South up to the north, and we expect it to be out of the Myrtle Beach area and on up into North Carolina by around midnight tonight. But in the meantime, they're very dangerous conditions out there, more so as you get into the low country. They ease up as you get into the Midlands from Aiken through Columbia and on up through above Florence and Marion. But down below that is very dangerous. And in some places there are 5 or 6 inches of snow. There's ice is all over the place. We expect it to be below freezing in the evenings, at night, from now till probably Monday, or at least through the weekend till Monday. And of course that could change. There are a number of things we want to remind everybody, and we do this every time because we all tend to forget. And so what we're seeing now is snow and freezing rain in some parts of the state, particularly, as I said, along the coast. And it is cold, 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 and it's going to stay cold. So that means stay indoors and stay in communication, watch the news, go to the internet. We've got a website at scemd.org. That again is scemd.org, and that has the latest weather conditions statewide, and that's the Emergency Management Division's website. But stay indoors. If you have to go outside, then dress up, because it's going to be cold, as I say, from now till probably sometime in Monday. In fact, the high temperatures on Thursday are probably going to be probably in the upstate about 37, in the Midlands, from Aiken all the way across about 25, and down in the low country will be just maybe above freezing and just above it. And that's the high temperature that we expect of right now. Limit your time outdoors. Don't take any chances. A lot of times people get out, it's colder than they think, and they can't get back in fast enough, and that presents problems. Driving, as you're driving, remember, if there's ice on the road, and rain and snow will freeze overnight, and there'll be ice on the roads, can slip and slide and go off the road or go across the median. So don't drive if you don't have to. If absolutely necessary, then drive, but otherwise don't. And don't put the emergency personnel at risk, because if you go out and something happens, that means someone's going to have to come get you, and that puts everybody at risk and also takes them away from other tasks that they need to be doing. Listen to your local radio and TV station. They have great maps. They can show you things that are hard to explain these days, so stay alert and keep asking questions. And this is very important. Be alert about carbon monoxide poisoning. You can get that by having your portable generator working indoors. You can by burning charcoal indoors. A lot of things like that people resort to when it gets real cold. Don't do that, even for just a few minutes, because you can kill yourself and everybody in the place with you. Call somebody, go to a neighbor, do something, but try to be prepared for that, and don't let that happen. Also, be sure to check on the senior citizens, your elderly neighbors, or anyone you think might be at risk. If their children are home alone because their parents or adults are away, check on them. Look out for the animals. They'll freeze to death. If they're outside tonight, tomorrow night, they'll freeze to death. If they can't get into heat, they will freeze to death, and they'll be gone. And that same thing will happen to people that are outside as well. So we have to be careful about that. Always stay in communication. You'll be glad to know, I believe, that the Emergency Management Division in all of its aspects all across the state, the state offices, the county offices, the city, all of them are in constant and instant full communication, as we have been with hurricanes and floods and other things like this. So we couldn't be more alert or more in communication. If you stay tuned, we'll provide you with the best and latest information possible. Mr. Stinson, Director of Emergency Management Division.
Thank you, sir. I want to start off with basically our mission, and that's to coordinate the state response during any emergency. And I think most of you already know that, but bears repeating, I think, sometimes. What that really means is support to local authorities when they run out of resources and they need assistance. And that's where we step in with state agencies, and making sure that they can fulfill their missions at the local level. I would also mention that right now we've only had one request for assistance at the county level, and that was for a member of our staff from EMD to go down and augment their staff in the EOC. We're operational here with selected emergency support functions and certainly some of our staff here, but DOT, DPS, DSS, ORS, DNR, a number of state agencies are here, and we want to be here in the event that something happens and we need to react quickly, and that's the only way we can do it is being here in the SEOC to do that. So fortunately, so far, we have not had a lot of issues, and I hope we keep it that way, but we do, again, want to be in position to assist if we need to. And also, just to kind of mention, again, reiterate what the governor talked about was our website at scemd.org. We have our winter weather guide on there that you can download or look at the website, and it's full of information, what you need to do to prepare for winter weather, during winter weather, and then after winter weather. So we're already in this operation right now, but the winter's not over, so this is a great resource to take a look at and make yourself prepared. Thanks.
Thanks, sir. Greg Smith, Department of Public Safety.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon, everyone. The Department of Public Safety has 165 officers assigned to this event. We're assisted by the Department of Natural Resources. We have 18 DNR officers assigned to the event as well, for a total of 183 law enforcement officers responding to this event. Our primary areas of focus, the coastal region, the low country, the Orangeburg area up to the Richland area. We are very visible, highly visible along our corridors. We are seeing a lot of collisions and a lot of disabled vehicles that we are assisting as well. We are also pushing our message out via our website, scdps.gov, as well as pushing our message out via social media. Also, in terms of a safety message, I just would like to reiterate what the governor said earlier. If you're in the impacted areas, please stay home unless you absolutely have to go out. Please stay off the roadways, especially in those impacted areas. Conditions are very dangerous at this time. And if you're in your vehicle, make sure that you have an emergency kit. And I would also recommend having extra clothing and blankets in your vehicle in the event that your vehicle becomes disabled. Also, during these conditions, it requires the motoring public to drive slower, to accelerate slower, and to brake slower than you would normally do so. And again, be safe. If you have an emergency, always call 911, and if it's anything other than emergency, you can always dial star HP, that's star 47. Thank you.
Thank you. The weatherman, John Quirello, if you please.
Thank you, Governor. The governor pretty much highlighted the greatest concerns. We do want to point out that we still have more snow to go here this evening. The threat for ice has pretty much ended, but we still see additional snow accumulations this evening, especially across eastern portions of the state. And then once the snow ends tonight, we do have some concern that there will be breezy conditions along the coast, and any snow and ice accumulation on tree limbs and on power lines, in addition to that wind, could result in additional power outages to be concerned about. And then again, in the next few days, we have some concern that the snow is going to stay on the ground tomorrow morning with sub-freezing temperatures tonight. And then even some melting occurs during the day tomorrow. We could have refreezing occurring again tomorrow night, and the same thing Friday and Friday night. So we just need to be aware of the dangerous conditions that the snow will pose here over the next couple of days. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Christy Hall, Secretary Christy Hall.
Thank you, Governor.
Highway Department.
Thank you. Just to follow up on what the previous director said, Director Smith had said, we currently have a lot of snow-covered roads along the coastal area, several bridges that are iced over, and we're working very closely with a lot of the city and county governments to try to get those bridges reopened and the roads plowed. We've dedicated over 1,400 employees to this effort so far. We continue to move resources from the Midlands and the upstate area down to the coast to try to help combat the situation that we're dealing with these snow-covered roads. We've put out over 13,000 tons of salt already, which represents about 2,500 dump truck loads of salt on the roads, trying to help de-ice things and enable us to get the roads dried off. But this is a situation we're going to be dealing with for the next several days. As you heard from the Weather Service, we're expecting temperatures to drop back down to freezing and stay below freezing overnight. So what is on the roads is likely to refreeze. And so we're going to be dealing with this for several days going forward. So we just urge a lot of caution, a lot of patience, and we just want to thank our local governments for helping us get the roads restored as quickly as we can. Thank you, Governor.
General McCarthy, National Guard.
Thank you, Governor. The soldiers and airmen of the South Carolina National Guard are prepared to support the winter storm response as needed. We sent out a warning order yesterday to our units to have them to make the necessary preparations of the equipment and notifying the personnel that may be necessary in need of a response. We've also been in contact with our counterparts in the state of Georgia and North Carolina in case there's any mutual aid requests that need to be met between the states. So we believe we're prepared and ready to accept missions as they are needed. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'd urge everybody to remember to exercise caution, exercise patience, and remember just a moment of inattention or a moment of risk can cause a whole lifetime of pain. So let's all be very careful. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
In terms of absolute accumulation, what kind of numbers are we talking about with the snow that's already fallen and the cast at this point?
John?
So far, we've received widespread reports of 2 to 4 inches, especially across the low country with amounts as high as 6 inches so far. I think the highest we've had is the Somerville area in Dorchester County. And we still could see another couple of inches on top of that. So the potential is there for many parts of the coastal areas to see maybe 4 to 6 inches on average, as high as 4 to 6 inches. Again, some locally higher amounts are even possible on top of that. In terms of ice, that threat's pretty much over. Most of the reports we've received so far today have generally been between 1/10 and 2/10 of an inch, with some minor higher accumulations than that in a few locations.
Director Smith, have we seen any fatalities or, either from, car accidents or freezing due to low temperatures at this point?
At this time, there are no reported storm-related fatalities.
What kind of resources have you got brought in from the upstate of South Carolina? What kind of resources have you brought in from the upstate?
Again, we have 165 assigned to the event. Some of the resources are local, and some are brought from the various troops or the state transport police. But again, we'll ship them from various locations to augment the local staffing.
We saw OPCON 4 up behind you guys on the screen there. For everybody out watching right now, can someone just explain OPCON 4?
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, it's the possibility of a disaster situation. It really raises our level of awareness and puts into motion being prepared if there is an actual event. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're here at OPCON 4. We've got limited staffing, select staffing in the event that we do have a more widespread emergency than we've got right now.
And just to clarify for folks out there, this is not a state of emergency right now?
We do not have a state of emergency right now.
For families who may find themselves late in the night without power, are there any shelters or any type of arrangements for these families, or what should they do if they find themselves in that predicament tonight?
There's a number of shelters open across the state. There's actually 9 right now. There's shelters in Bamberg, Charleston, Dillon, Jasper, Williamsburg, and Beaufort. And that information, the specific locations are available on our website. So they're not particularly used right now. I think we've got only a total of about 15 people that are being sheltered, but that could change overnight.
How else would they get in touch with someone if they don't have a computer, don't have a cell phone, can't get to a website?
Well, hopefully they could access their local county emergency management office. They can call them, or they can also call here at SCEMD as well, and we can get them referred.
Further questions?
Just a side question, any comment on Dominion and SCANA that you want to give at this point?
We're making progress. Any more questions? Thank you very much.